What I have been worried about with Erik is the language. For Erik and Virginia, Erik tends to do things in black and white. You don't like my way? You can leave. You don't like what I said? You know where the door is. We can just divorce. Like, everything is very black and white thinking for him. If it's not going one way, then it's the other. If you do that, then it's the end. If you don't do this, then I'm out. Like, that kind of approach to relationships often will create immense conflict very quickly. And it's also triggered by the fact that we've got anxiety mixed in there. We've got past traumas mixed in there. So when you put all of this in the stirring pot, plus Erik, who says, listen, women always leave me, or I always get hard done to. Like, he has his own past traumas of relationships and the experiences he's been through, plus his divorce. So he and Virginia, when you mix in all of that stuff in the middle of this mix, you can see how they are in this whirlwind and a spiral. One of the great things about her is that she does have an awareness that she has this, and she also knows that it impacts her relationships. So this is an advantage because she already has the insight and she has the willingness to say, you know what, I do need to work on myself so I can learn some skills to better manage my anxiety, and also try and see how I can fit this into a relationship so I don't bolt and I don't run. And that, for me, guys, is really important because we all carry different stuff into a relationship. Nobody is not going to carry something from their past or in their present into a relationship. The difference is that having the awareness about whether you've got a mental health condition, whether you've got anxiety, whether you've got past traumas, whatever that looks like, having the awareness of it and knowing that that might play out when I do X, Y, and Z gives yourself so much of a better head start than someone who has no insight with a lot of their unresolved traumas, pains, or things that they just haven't really recognized is an issue for them in relationships. I think premarital counseling is important, especially in this show. Brianna hit the nail on the head. She said, look, before I got married, I took myself to therapy because I recognized that there were things about me that I needed to just process and have that safe space to actually talk it through, because I was going into a marriage where I was going to have to be making emotional space for someone else's problems, someone else's needs, maybe their past traumas. And I knew that I wasn't sure how I would react to that, or whether I would feel too overwhelmed. And maybe she might have felt like, that's too much, I'm out. So she took herself to therapy to work through and have a conversation about those things, and maybe even come up with some strategies of how she could manage that. That, to me, is just so wonderful, because you can see the difference when Brianna and Vincent's nan at the start, I think it's one day after their wedding, his nan became really unwell. He was very emotional, and she was able to actually respond to pretty much a stranger in a really loving and tender and caring way. And I just wondered, wow, maybe going to therapy had really assisted her in being able to respond to her husband in that way. So again, really important, guys, that people do explore therapy. There are so many different types of online services. And even if you can't get to a therapist straight away, maybe access some groups, maybe go online, do some reading, connect with coaches, find some way to start talking it out. Even if you have just a friend. I just want to say, look, respectfully for Virginia and Erik, watch your words, and Virginia, get yourself into therapy, girl. And as a couple, I would recommend it, and I would hope that the experts are actually providing that to you. This is a show where your emotional mental health should be made a priority. So that's enough of them. Who's next, guys?